Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I'll be sharing with you the top 5 books that I want to read this winter. So these are a collection of books that I already own or ones that will be coming out in the next couple months, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So starting out with the books that I currently own, I first have the Enigma Game by Wein, and this is her latest historical fiction novel that just came out in November. So it's relatively new and I'm really excited for this. Wein wrote the Codename Verity trilogy, I guess you can call it, and which is probably one of my favorite YA historical fiction books of all time, and I'm really excited for this one. This one seems really interesting, but basically the premise of this story, I don't really want to know too much about it. I just kind of go into it blind, but it's about this girl who ends up caring for this elderly German woman in her small Scotland village, and so when she's there she ends up getting converge. Her life ends up crossing with a German pilot who lands in her town, and it's under mysterious circumstances and plants a key that leads the main character to an unparalleled discovery, an Enigma machine that translates German code. So I think this one will be super interesting. I'm really excited for the premise of this one. Like I said, I love Wein. I have high expectations going into this, and I'm really hoping that I do end up enjoying it. Especially, it makes me, what is that movie? It's like, I don't know, I'll have it here, but it's like, I feel like it's kind of related to the Enigma code. I think this will be like a fictionalized tale about it, but I still think like just the code breaking process and like the brains behind that is so interesting. So I think this one will be just as exciting. So next up I have A Promised Land by Barack Obama, and this is a memoir that I am super excited about, and it's over 700 pages, so it'll probably take me a while to read this, but it's basically his like account on his presidency, kind of everything kind of leading up to his presidency and afterwards, and I'm really excited for this. My sister is currently reading it right now and she really enjoys it, so I have a feeling that I'm gonna really like this as well. I don't really need to explain too much about this book because I'm sure you guys already know about it, but I think it'll just be really interesting. I really like the Obamas. I loved Michelle's Becoming memoir, so I have a feeling that I'll like this one as well. So this is one that I'm very intrigued about, and this is my first book of this author that I've ever will read or own, and it is The Invisible Life of Addie, Laurie. I think that's how you say it, by V.E. Schwab. This is my first V.E. Schwab book ever, so this is like a rite of passage for me as a booktuber. But basically the premise, I was really intrigued by the premise of this, and it basically follows this girl that makes a deal with the devil in order to live forever, but the price that she has to pay is that no one remembers who she is. And so she goes about her life, everyone kind of, as she lives forever, and no one remembers her until she walks into a bookstore one day and someone actually does remember her, and it starts off from there. I was very intrigued by this. Like I said, I've never read a Victoria Schwab, V.E. Schwab book. Is V.E. Schwab her adult author name? I don't know, because I know it's confusing, but I'm really excited for this. It seems really interesting, and I feel like this will be like the perfect one to read when it's just like dark and cold and snowing outside by the fire. So next, moving on to the books that come out within the next few months, I first have The Four Winds by Kristin, and this is her newest release since The Great Alone, which came out, I want to say, in like 2018, January 2018, so it's been a while since she's released a new book, and I'm really excited for this. I've read almost all her works now, and I've really loved her writing. So this one, I don't want to know anything about the plot. I just want to go into it not knowing what to expect, and I think that's the best way to go with Kristin. So I haven't read the synopsis or anything. I'm just going to go into this book blind and see where it takes me. And lastly, another new release. I think this one comes out on the same day as Kristin's book, and it's Beneath the Keep by Erika Johansen, and this is the prequel to the Queen of the Tearling trilogy, and it follows the mom of the main character in like this trilogy world, and she was kind of a bad I guess, like, mother, and she just wasn't a really good queen. So it follows her story eventually having Kelsey and then giving Kelsey away. And so I think this one will be super interesting. I'm rereading the trilogy in preparation for this because it's been so long, and I feel like this world is very complex in terms of like the characters and just everything else that's going on. So I would love to, like, I'm rereading the trilogy in preparation for this, and I cannot wait to go back into this world and just the complexities of it. It deals a lot with mixing religion and power and all that. Like, it's very interesting. A lot of the problems that we see in our society now in terms of the treatment of women and all of that stuff is very relevant in this world, I guess, as well. But yeah, I'm really excited for this one as well. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what books you want to read this winter and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.